Today I'm going to talk about service and how people serve. So, taking into account as my life story, I will say that when I was a little girl, I come from an Indian family background, and as the eldest one in the family, I had to always serve, helping my mum in the kitchen, getting my little siblings ready for school. I remember ironing 15, 16 shirts of my dad for his work, which was tedious task for me. Then we would have families who came over from overseas, stayed with us for weeks, and there was cooking, cleaning, helping mum with everything in the kitchen. Going on to that, one day my auntie said to me, Damini, I think you are just born to serve. It seems like you're just born to serve. Because every time I see you helping your mum, you looking after the little ones, you helping your aunties. My first job I got was in geriatric medicine. And I came home one day and I said to my husband, oh my goodness me, I'm looking after the elderly who are so needy. It's unbelievable. It never seems to end. But then I realized that I have to look at this service as a very different perspective. First, it was very annoying, frustrating, awfully draining. Then I realized that these are human beings who have formed my society in which I live today. Not only that, they have shaped the world that I live today. And what I shape today will be enjoyed by my children and the next generations to come, who will then take on the role to serve this and shape this world. So then I started questioning my patients. Sir, what did you do in life? And they would say, I've been an engineer, I've been a pharmacist, I've run a business. That's when I started to appreciate that they come from a very educational, very important prospect in life, but now they've reached a stage in life where they are helpless and they need looking after. When I look after my patients, I always thought to myself, if that was my mum, if that was my grandma, how would it be that I served them? And that's when my true gist of compassion comes through, and I find that I can look after them so well that they come and thank me, and we are touching each other's soul. So service without compassion is just fruitless. If you want 100% satisfaction and serve on for whatever your soul has chosen to do the task in this world, we must have compassion. Without that, your service is not 100% satisfying. So I will share one example, because as a nurse I was never thinking about compassion. How it started was, one day I was looking after this lady who was always very cranky. No matter what you did was never enough for her, never satisfying to her. So I decided on that particular day that if I have to do this job and work with her, we had to be friends. So I said to her straight out, I said, listen my dear, I'm here to work. My job is to look after you, and I'm responsible for your health for the 80 hours today, and therefore we have to be friends. She didn't look up at me. She said, yeah, okay, do your thing, what you have to do, and get out with it. So I said to her, what did you do in life? She said, I've been a single mother. I've had 6 children. My husband was in the war and he died. He never came back. So I said, oh my goodness, you've done a very great job. How did you manage to bring up 6 children on your own in those days, without education, without much employment for women? That was a very different era. She said, oh yes, I did ironing, you name it. I did ironing, I picked fruit, I washed people's clothes, I went and helped out in their garden, and I planted a few things in my own garden, and we exchanged fruit and veggies. So then I said to her, oh my goodness, I said, you're an amazing person. You've been through so much in your life, and yet you're here and you see your kids, they've done so well, then you should really congratulate yourself for doing such a good deed. And that was a turning point for me to see what she came with from her walk of life. And she started to realize that I appreciated for who she was. There was a form of respect bond between both of us. We became friends and we were able to have a very good shift that day. When I look at people now, elderlies especially, I ask them, sorry sir or ma'am, what did you do in your life? Because that is what I want to know, that makes them who they were and are, and how they have formed our world. And that way we can appreciate and honor as a person who they are. You have to look at them in a valuable way. They're invaluable people of our society. And looking at this scenario, when I start reading Sukrit, I realize that there's so many people out there who are bringing their different life stories into our life, and reading their aspect makes me respect who they are, what they do, and each of us is serving at different level. If a student is writing, they are serving. If an elderly is writing, they are serving. And every valuable information that they're giving, and the examples, the way they coped, their technique, their life skills, enriches ours and helps us through.